Përshëndetje të dashur bashkëdhetar, ndodhemi në Staten Island, New York, ku ish kongresisti Michael Grimm ka hedhur kandidaturën përsëri në Kongres për në shtëpinë e bardhë. Edhe mjaft shqiptar të Staten Island e suportojnë Michael Grimm. Ne ju urojmë shumë suksese Michael Grimm, I cili është një suportues I shkëlqyer I komunitetit shqiptaro-amerikan. Për televizionin Alba Live, Kozeta Zylo, New York.
I was told by many people in the establishment that I should have just stepped down. Made it simple, stay out of the limelight and get the best deal that I could for myself. What they left out is that Justice Department, they're not politically motivated. They're not, they routinely investigate delivery boys on bicycles off the books. You know that. Yeah. But what was left out is that they unsealed the indictment after the ballot was certified. So you see, what the establishment wanted me to do, they wanted me to turn my backs on all of you, on all the Republicans that came out for me. And they wanted to cede my seat to the Democrat. If I did that, if I was a coward, if I turned my back and slipped into the shadows to save myself, then today, our Congressman would be a liberal Democrat, a puppet for Nancy Pelosi, undermining President Trump's entire agenda, almost as much as our current Congressman is. My opponents can say a lot about me, and we know the personal attacks have already started. But what they can't say is I'm a phony. They can't say I'm a coward. They can't say I didn't work relentlessly hard for you or that I wasn't effective as your congressman. So in case they didn't hear it, I never turned my back on a fellow Marine in combat. I never turned my back on an FBI agent, and I will never turn my back on any of you. I took my lumps like a man, and we took more than we should have. But I'm convinced God has a reason.
That's right.
God has a master plan. I almost lost my faith completely. I was angry. I kept asking God, how can this happen to me? Almost 20 years of service, most of which was in harm's way. And although I'm sure I'll probably never know the full answer, I do know that I'm a better, stronger, more well-rounded human being for having survived it all. I have a different perspective on how important our Constitution is, on just how fragile our liberties, our freedoms can be. I've seen countries that don't have any of our rights and protections, not a scintilla.
None of them do.
And I thought I knew how precious it all was. I know now just how elusive they can all be. How power can be distorted and it can be abused to the detriment of unsuspecting citizens, American citizens. And as your representative, though, I told you a long time ago, I asked for your support. I stood shoulder to shoulder with you, and I remember some of the hardest times. So although I started to lose my faith, it's all of you that helped get it back. It's all of you that make me remember why I've always served. You are the reason.
Thank you, Michael.
I knew when I asked you back then for your confidence, for your support, that I would serve you well, and that I would do everything I could to make your lives a little better. Many of you remember me being in the trenches with you throughout Superstorm Sandy. I remember too. My job was to secure the funding, make sure we had the resources to rebuild. But there were many other things falling through the cracks. We didn't just listen to the status quo. We didn't hesitate. I listened to you, and I worked with you. I spoke with all of you. Together, we formed groups like Yellow Boots. We worked. God bless you. We worked with Guy on Rescue. We worked with Scylla Foundation. We did the things that were falling through the cracks that the city just couldn't get done. We formed alliances to push the governor to buy out areas like Grand Beach when they didn't really want to. We stood firm against the Parks Department when they didn't want to rebuild Nichols Marina. We literally moved mountains together. We moved mountains day in and day out, almost every day in the aftermath of Sandy, all the while grieving. Sometimes we just hugged and shared a tear for all those that we lost. That is called leadership. For those that like to throw that word around like a political platitude, let me tell you, it was always personal for me, and it still is. I gave my heart and my soul, and I think that's why all of you are with me today. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. As your representative, we've made national history. We took on the entire Republican leadership and the chairman when they didn't want to do flood insurance reform.
Yeah.
I remember the majority leader, Eric Cantor, saying to me, if you push this flood insurance reform, your political career is over.
Wow.
Well, let me tell you something today. I never went to Washington for a political career. I went for one reason and one reason only, to serve every one of you. And today, the Grimm Waters flood insurance bill is the law of the land and is about to be reauthorized. Let's hope that's a Republican bill our Congressman can finally support. As we remember these fights and these setbacks through Sandy and flood insurance, let us all remember our neighbors in Texas, Puerto Rico. They were devastated. Florida, they lost lives, they lost everything. Our hearts, our prayers are with them. And don't listen to some of the media out there that wants to parse every word and criticize. Our president has done an outstanding job in the face of these devastating hurricanes. Yes, he has. I'm proud of him. I know you are too. I want to share one story with you that I'm particularly proud of. I was in Brooklyn when a community leader came up to me with a man that was completely distraught, fighting back tears. And he began to tell me that his daughter, who was born here in Brooklyn, as I was, going to Brooklyn College, married a student. He was of Yemeni descent, and he wanted to go back to his homeland, so he talked her into taking a semester off. And they went to Yemen to meet his family and embrace the culture. But when she got there, she was shocked. Her husband began to abuse her, implement Sharia law. He took her passport, physically assaulted her, and threatened her life if she told her father. Her father said, as he fought back his tears, there's nothing that can be done. The State Department told the 2 U.S. senators, there's nothing we can do. She went to the U.S. Embassy. They explained the law of the land in Yemen is a woman, a wife, has to have an exit visa from her husband to leave his permission. And that was the law.
Wow.
I spent several weeks contacting Yemen officials, working day and night, making the calls in the middle of the morning because of the time difference. And I explained to the Yemeni ambassador that I was applying for my own visa, and I was coming there, and I was going to bring my Brooklyn girl home. I made it very clear the only way they were going to stop me was to physically stop me because I was coming as a U.S. Marine. I was going to take her by her hand, and I was going to walk her on that plane. So to avoid an international incident, because they knew I would stop at nothing, you know what they did? They sent her home. Right now she's in Brooklyn with her father. Our girl is home. Marines don't leave anyone behind. And I will never leave any of you behind. Now I've had a lot of time to reflect and time for introspection. And sincerely, I'm truly sorry if I let any of you down.
You did. You didn't. You're a good man. No. Don't make a difference. Don't ever feel that way.
I still feel like I let your voice be abruptly taken away from you when I resigned.
We missed you.
From the very bottom of the heart,
We need you back.
and I do love you.
We love you too.
But never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that an extremely common Department of Labor civil matter could be twisted against me politically.
It was because of that damn Barack Obama.
But ultimately, you're right, it was. But ultimately, I'm responsible.
We got your back, Mike.
I wish I could take it all back. In all sincerity, I wish I just closed the restaurant and lost everything, rather than put any of you through all of that with me. I wish I was perfect, but I'm not. I'm just a kid that was born in Brooklyn to a lower middle class family that struggled. My father worked 2, often 3 jobs. He could barely read or write. He was my hero. God bless you. You know, he worked hard and he taught me to work hard. I remember when I was 11, I had my first job. Yeah, okay, it was off the books. But I stocked shelves and I delivered groceries to seniors that couldn't get out of their house, and I made tips. And I'm gonna tell you something, I never thought, and I still don't, I never thought that the people that hired my father on the weekends or hired me when I was 11 were criminals. But, you know, there's something that I had to come to terms with, and it kind of hit me, and a lot of it's thanks to my own mother. I'm not my father, okay? And I wasn't an immigrant delicatessen owner that hired a kid for the summer. I'm a Marine.
Whoa! Yeah! Okay.
And I'm a former agent.
Yeah!
And I'm an attorney, most importantly.
Yeah!
So, I still shouldn't have hired anyone off the books. Not even a handful of delivery boys. And for that, I am truly sorry. I should have closed the restaurant, and I should have lost my house. I should have lost it all. But, so for any heartache, I want you to know, I am sorry.
Brush it off!
But I do think
Move forward!
that the way we all move forward, the best thing that I can do is to represent you. And give you 100%. And I believe that I will not be judged by my transgressions, but how I rebound in spite of them. I have a lot to offer, and I know that my leadership is still sorely needed. Right here in Staten Island, in Brooklyn, and in Washington, where the swamp still needs to be drained. Let's start right here with my opponent, Danny Donovan. Our president needs help draining that swamp, and I plan on helping him. Now I know, my opponent's a nice guy, right? Bit of a sweetheart. But let me tell you something, he's never gonna get anything done. Not ever. And in Washington, nice guys finish last. Niceness is perceived as weakness. And the truth is, he only became your congressman because it fell in his lap. He never wanted it. That's an irrefutable fact. Never in a million years would he have taken on McMahon in 2010. He never would have run. When asked, he said no. In the past 2.5 years, he doesn't have one piece of substantive legislation. Not one. He doesn't get up to bat. He rides the bench. Everyone in D.C. knows decisions are being made at the table, and he's not even in a room. I was sitting at that table. In the past 2.5 years, you really haven't seen him much. But all of a sudden now, because he fears my candidacy, he's suddenly starting to show his face. Well, he's been retired in place. I think it's time for him to officially retire. He's done enough to undermine our president's agenda. He's done enough to undermine the pro-American agenda. So after much thought and a lot of soul searching, I just can't sit on the sidelines and watch Donovan tear down everything that I built and turn his back on our Second Amendment. He didn't fight to get this seat from the Democrats, and he's done nothing to grow and build our party. As far as I'm concerned, he's just been a little too busy siding with the Democrats against our president and an agenda that finally puts you and America first. It's been a breath of fresh air that we finally have a president that's he's not afraid to say thank you to God. He's not afraid to say a prayer. It's music to my ears when I hear the president speak about America being the greatest nation in the world. We are the greatest nation in the world. wants to rebuild us.
USA!
He wants American workers building it.
USA!
Buy it here, make it here, build it here. That's America. After 8 years of the Obama presidency, we need to restore our place on the world stage. And I intend to be a part of it. I feel it's my duty to protect our president's back and to advance his agenda. I know I can bring passion and resolve to Washington that the Republican Party sorely needs. I know that the fire in my belly is still burning more than ever. Yes, I'm matured, I'm tempered, and I'm wiser. But I'm still the same guy that you know that's yearning to serve you every chance I get. You have my commitment. You grew accustomed to me. I'm so proud of that. I was blessed with being born in the greatest country in the world. You know that. And now we're blessed with a president that loves it as much as we do.
Yes.
We will maintain our greatness in the world. I'm sorry. Someone said I need a bottle of water. There we go. Thank you. Cheers! We're facing insurmountable odds around the globe. Right here in our backyards as well. True, pure, unadulterated leadership. The passion combined with relentless work ethic and a strong resolve is the way we will meet those challenges. Whether it's North Korea, whether it's global Islamist terrorism, whether it's the massive opioid and heroin epidemic that's tearing our communities apart, I'm ready with all of you to abound all of these threats. With your help and your support, we can, I'm confident, once again, we can move mountains together. We can help drain the swamp. We can have our voices heard louder than ever from the top of the Capitol in Washington, D.C. I'm not hiding. I'm not wavering. I'm persevering. And I'm doing the only thing I've ever known how to do, and that's fight. And I'll fight with you any day. I've seen our families and our friends and our neighbors torn apart, destroyed. Our neighborhoods seen crime rates increasing, and the overdoses continue to rise. When will it ever end, you wonder? Many just are praying for it to go away. The answer is leadership, and I give you my word. With you, I will lead the charge. We will have an effective and comprehensive way of tackling this horrific affliction and epidemic. With you, we can overcome it. And I will make it personal, because it's always been personal for me, and I will not rest until we can all rest. So in 2010, I asked you to trust me to be your representative, and I promised you that I would take the seat back from the Democrats. I asked you for your confidence because I would serve you well. I told you then I was running for Congress for the exact same reason that I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. For the same reason I volunteered for combat. For the same reason I left Wall Street and accepted a position as a special agent of the FBI. And the same reason I went deep undercover for over 5 years. Because I love this country enough to give my life for it. And I believe it's my calling to serve all of you. So today, I ask you once again to give me your confidence, to give me your support, as I announce my candidacy to be your representative for the New York 11th Congressional District. We haven't lost a race yet. We've beaten all the odds before. And we won't lose a race now. Our victory will be America's victory. Together we'll go to Washington and we'll have our president's back. Ladies and gentlemen, we will support our president. We will support our veterans. We will support the hardworking men and women that make this country great. And I will never stop supporting you. God bless you. God bless our president, Donald J. Trump. God bless America. Thank you. This is overwhelming. God bless you. If we could, if Chris and Cheyenne, you would do me the honor and sing a very special song for us. I promise the next rally will be a much bigger parking lot. And I want to thank all of those that texted me I got about 20, 25 texts of people that said they couldn't find parking, they were running late, and it was so crowded they weren't going to be able to stay, but I want to thank them as well. So God bless all of them also.
Yay! Go, Michael!
Michael.
Mike's my man!
I love you, Cologne!
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, Chris and Cheyenne. God bless
America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, where we fall. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Thank you for being here. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Sir,
We're there for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sir, thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. How are you? It's nice to see you. Hello. Thank you.
And I don't know if you remember us from the first time, but you did it with us with the
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Watch out for your crutch, man.
Okay, I got you. Michael, have to say hello.
Thank you.
You know who it is.
Thank you so much for being here.
I had to be here.
Thank you. Hey, big man. How are you, pal? I gotta go over that way, brother. Maybe you're back. Over that way, though. I want to go.
All right, excuse us.
Come on. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Come on, Mike.
So much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you.
Michael, where are you trying to go, Mike?
Feel good, buddy.
Come.
Feel good. Thank you. Well. Thank you.
Good luck. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes.
Michael,
How are you?
wonderful.
How are you? Guys, thank you for being here. 7-5, brother. We rock. Green, you handsome devil. How are you? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. This happens to get the Thank you, everybody. Oh, here we go. Here we go. How about one of you guys? Mike, thank you. Thank you so much. Take a picture with Mike. You're going to make it again, brother.
Can you tell something why you support Michael Grimm?
First of all, he's a true pledge fighter. And that's the one thing I like most about him. He doesn't give up. He fights for his American people. He puts his life on the line back then, and he will continue doing it today.
Thank you so much, Maria.
God bless Michael Grimm, and he's got my support.
I'm Aunt Grace. His aunt? Uncle Jim.
Uncle Jim, Aunt Grace.
Yeah.
This is Michael's godmother.
Yeah, and very, very proud and very happy to be here, and we're here to support him. So,
Let's hope.
yes.
We're ready for the ride.
Yep. Ready for the ride is right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you support Michael Grimm?
Of course. Heavily support him all the way. 2018. No, just really excited about the campaign, actually getting involved with it, volunteering, looking forward to it. We got a long way to go, but I think we got a good chance.
What's your name?
Mark.
And are you a student in...
I recently graduated about a year ago from college, from Binghamton University. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're very welcome.
Why are you here?
I'm here because I feel I represent the younger constituents of Staten Island who really support Michael Grimm and remember exactly what he did in the wake of Hurricane Sandy. Especially, I was a boat owner, and to see him come in and really sympathize with those who lost their property, it was really very moving. So we're here today because we're very excited for him to be back, and we look forward to him joining our president to get things done.
And what's your name, please?
Tatiana Ciccarelli.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.